Let's talk about something we see all the time in mature almond orchards. It's this cycle of decline that a lot of growers think is just an inevitable part of a tree getting old. But what if I told you it's not inevitable? And what if it's completely reversible?
This quote right here, it just says it all, doesn't it? We're not looking at orchards that are old because of the year they were planted. We're looking at orchards that have been artificially aged by years of management practices that, while well-intentioned, were actually doing more harm than good. Okay, so to get our bearings, we're diving into a mature almond orchard that's in its production phase. Specifically, we're looking at it during its vegetative rest period in late winter. And this is so important because this is the critical window. The pruning decisions you make right now are going to set the stage for the entire next season. So that leads us right into this first big idea, an orchard that's been aged by management. The key here is learning to spot the symptoms of a tree that's structurally broken, not because its time is up, but because its own energy has been sent in all the wrong directions. Now, take a look at this. The difference is just night and day, isn't it? On one side, you've got a healthy, balanced tree. Its productive wood is spread out all along the branches. But on the other side, that's the problem. You see a tree that could be, 4 or 5 meters tall, but all of its fruit-bearing spurs, everything that makes you money, is crammed into that last meter at the very top. The rest of it? It's just barren wood. So how on earth does that happen? Well, it happens because of what agronomist Vito Vitali calls the vicious cycle. And that's exactly what it is. It's this negative feedback loop that gets started by one single, very common mistake. And once it starts, it triggers this whole cascade of problems that becomes incredibly difficult to get out of.
All right, let's break down how this downward spiral works. It all starts with what we call apical topping, basically just cutting the top of the tree to try and control its height. But what that actually does is reinforce the tree's natural tendency for apical dominance. It sends a huge rush of energy right back to the top. This new growth explodes, it gets super dense, and it completely shades out the inside and the lower parts of the tree. And of course, without light, those lower branches just give up and die. And that leaves you with that empty pole we just saw.
And to really get this, you have to understand this core principle of plant physiology, apical dominance. It's basically the tree's default setting. Hormones are telling the main central stem to grow stronger and faster than all the side branches. When you just lop off the top, you're not fighting this instinct, you're actually supercharging it. You're basically yelling at the tree to send every bit of energy it has right back to the very top.
So, the big question is, how do we break the cycle? Well, the good news is we have two really clear strategies. The first one is what we can call the soft rebalance. Think of this as a more gradual approach, something that won't give you a huge economic shock, designed to slowly coax the tree back into a healthy, productive state.
So with this soft approach, it's all about making very precise, targeted moves. First, and this is the most important part, we need to open up a cone of light right into the center of the tree. Then, we can spur those interior branches, encouraging them to grow now that they can actually get some sun. We use special return cuts to shape the canopy, and we try to keep that productive wall of leaves no thicker than about 1.2 meters. But the crucial part? We have to avoid that temptation to just indiscriminately chop the top off.
Okay, let's zoom in on that return cut for a second, the taglio di ritorno. This is the real secret sauce here. See, instead of just cutting a branch off wherever, you follow it back to a smaller lateral branch, one that's already growing outwards, and you make your cut right there. This does so much more than just remove wood. It intelligently redirects the sap flow. You're guiding the tree's energy outwards and even downwards, instead of letting it all shoot straight up again. It's all about redirection, not just reduction.
Okay, but what happens when an orchard is just too far gone for a gradual fix? What if a soft touch isn't going to cut it? Well, that brings us to our second strategy, the structural reset. This is the strong approach. It's a really decisive, complete overhaul that's designed to just eliminate those structural problems right at their source. This entire strategy really boils down to two critical numbers. The first one is 90 centimeters. That's the height from the ground where you make the main, drastic cut. It's low, it's decisive, and it represents a total reset of the tree's entire architecture. And right on the heels of that is our second number, 45 degrees. See, the cut isn't flat. You make it at a 45-degree angle. And there's a very practical, very important reason for this. It allows rainwater to just shed right off the wound, which helps prevent rot and protects the long-term health of that trunk. Now, pulling this off isn't just about making one big cut. There's a whole process you've got to follow. First, for safety's sake, you take off the big upper branches. Then, you make that very precise 90-centimeter, 45-degree cut. After that, it's absolutely essential to clean the wound and protect it. And from that point on, your job is to carefully manage all the new growth that emerges to build a brand new, perfectly balanced structure from the ground up.
And when you lay it all out like this, you can really see the choice a grower has to make. The soft rebalance, it's gradual. It keeps you in production, and its whole goal is to just turn that negative trend around. The structural reset, on the other hand, is immediate. It's a huge change, right now, but it's going to cost you 1, maybe 2 years of production. Its goal isn't just to improve things, it's to totally wipe out the structural flaw. So the right choice for you really depends on your financial situation and just how bad the problem is in your orchard.
So after all this talk about different cuts and strategies, what are we really trying to do here? Because all of these techniques, whether they're the soft ones or the strong ones, they're not really about the act of cutting. They're about achieving a much deeper physiological goal. Which leads to the question I hear all the time. Isn't the whole point of all this just to make the trees shorter? And the answer to that is a hard no. In fact, that's the exact misconception that gets people into this mess in the first place. Here's the common mistake: focusing only on managing height. The real goal, the physiological goal that the experts focus on, is managing the tree's two most vital resources. Number 1, light, for photosynthesis and fruit production. And number 2, sap flow, which is the energy grid for the entire plant. So, at the end of the day, the true objective here isn't just to cut, it's to rebalance. It's a major intervention designed to redirect energy, to bring sunlight back into those barren parts of the tree, and to reestablish a productive balance that's going to keep that orchard efficient and profitable for years and years to come. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to take back to your own operation. As you look at your trees and your own practices, you have to ask yourself, which of these approaches, the gradual rebalance or the complete reset, is truly the most sustainable path forward for the future of your orchard? The right answer comes from understanding not just how to cut, but why.